Hello everyone, I'm Lucy from Library of Lucy and welcome back to my channel. This is a really exciting video for me. I'm so excited for this. Basically today is Friday the 20th of May and tonight at midnight bookoplathon starts. The 48-hour readathon hosted by Becca and the Books, if you don't know, and I took part in this last year and I stayed up as late as I could and I just tried to sleep as little as possible and get as much reading done as possible. So I'm taking part in it again this year, and so is my bestie Em, and we're going to be FaceTiming for most of the weekend and just trying to read as much as we can to fit the prompts. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the first two books that I plan to read. So the first two prompts have been dropped in preparation for the video. If you don't know, or for the readathon even, if you don't know, 2 prompts are dropped every 12 hours. So there's a total of 8 prompts. I think there's 8 prompts. I think there's 8. 2 to start with, 2 at 12 p.m. tomorrow, 2 at midnight tomorrow, and 2 at 12 p.m. Sunday. Yeah, okay. So there are 8 prompts total, and we know the first 2. So the first 2 prompts are a book under 100 pages and a book featuring gods. The gods one can be like anything to do with religion or based on mythology or featuring someone godlike. So yeah, the first book that I've chose for the under 300 pages prompt is Find Me by Tara Maffey. This is the next book in the Shatter Me series that I need to read, and it's really short, and also the next book that I need to read is only half of this because there's 2 novellas in here. So I actually only need to read this tiny bit to complete that prompt. The novella is called Shadow Me, and it is book 4.5, I think, in the Shatter Me series, and it is 75 pages long. So I'm planning on reading this as soon as the clock hits midnight, and I'm planning or hoping to read it in an hour. And then the book that I've chosen for the Gods prompt is A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. This is a Hades and Persephone retelling. I've had this on my shelf for like over a year. I needed to get to it and it fit the Gods prompt perfectly. I think I picked this up because I know that Jenna loves this book, so I'm hoping I love it too. This one is 320 pages long, so it's still not that long of a book. I am going to stay up as late as I can tonight and see. I'm definitely going to read this one tonight, and then I'm going to see how far I can get through this one as well before I need to go to sleep. But yeah, it's currently 7:30 in the evening, so there's a few hours before the readathon, and I'll update you when the readathon starts. I am immediately failing this readathon. It's not even midnight yet, it's 11 p.m. and I am so tired. I don't know whether to try and stay up or to just try and get some sleep and set an alarm for like 4 or 5 a.m. so at least I have a few hours, and then hopefully like in the morning I'll be feeling like fresh and ready to read. But I feel like that's cheating. I don't know, I really wanted to stay up but I'm so tired. Maybe I will just try and stay up till I finish this first novella. It's 75 pages and the Shatter Me books I read so fast. I feel like I can do it in an hour, but that means I've got to wait till 12 for the readathon to actually start and then read this book. And I feel sick as well. I feel so ill. My stomach is hurting so bad. I don't know what to do. Good morning. It is 8 a.m. on Saturday morning and I tried to wake up really early this morning. I set alarms for from 5 a.m. till 7 a.m. I did wake up at 5:30, but then I fell back asleep until 6:30, and then at 7 a.m. I started reading, and I read the first book for this readathon. I read Shadow Me by Tahira Mafi, the first book in this book, I guess. It is a novella from Kenji's point of view, and it was kind of good, but I'm not going to give it a rating because I just don't feel like I can give the novellas a rating because they're literally the shortest books ever. But so I've finished that, and now I'm going to move on to A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair for the Gods prompt. I don't think I'm going to finish this by midday, which is really annoying because obviously 2 more prompts get released by midday, but I'm going to try my best. And I feel like if at midday 2 better prompts come up, I might switch to one of those books and then come back to this if I haven't finished it by then. But yeah, we'll see. I'll see how much of this I can get read before midday. That's in 4 hours. So I think I'm going to change what I'm reading for the Gods prompt. So I did start A Touch of Darkness, but I'm just finding it quite slow to get into, and that is not the vibe that I need for a readathon. So I'm currently reading To Kill a Kingdom, and in the Gods prompt it says you can choose any book that is inspired by mythology, and mermaids and sirens and things are inspired by mythology and folklore, so I'm just going to finish this book for God's prompt. I'm currently on page 113 and it's about 350-ish pages, I think. So I have 240-ish pages to read, and I feel like I can do that before midday, so I'm going to switch to Kill a Kingdom. Okay, so the second roll drops just happened. It's just after 12. And me and Em have been FaceTiming for most of the day because we're both doing this readathon together. We are disappointed in these roll drops. They just weren't what we were hoping for. So first I'll give you an update on how I'm doing. So I still haven't finished To Kill a Kingdom. I don't even think I explained what this book is about. So basically it's about this siren, basically like a mermaid but not a mermaid. This siren called Lyra, and she basically is called the Prince's Bane because she's known for killing princes and taking their hearts as a souvenir. And there's this prince called Prince Elian, who is a human, and he is known for killing sirens. So they're basically hunting each other, but Lyra basically pisses off her mom, who's the queen siren. Her mom takes her power away and turns her into a human, and basically Elian and Lyra are basically working together without each other knowing that they're working for the opposite goal. Basically Elian wants to kill Lyra and Lyra wants to kill Elian. Pretty much. I'm guessing it's going to be enemies to lovers. It's a YA fantasy. I'm enjoying it. It's not my favourite book I've ever read, but I am enjoying it. I'm currently on page 214 and there's 358, so I have about 150-ish pages left. So I'm hoping to finish this within a few hours. But since I didn't finish that book by midday, it means that I am kind of a prompt behind because obviously 2 prompts have just been released, but that's okay because the first prompt was an ebook or an audiobook, and I don't want to do that prompt. I don't listen to audiobooks. It's not that I don't like them, I just never have. I've never tried one. And I don't want to read an ebook because I'm trying to get through my physical TBR. So I'm going to skip that prompt, which is fine by me because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do all the prompts anyway. But the second prompt was a book with a colour in the title, and I did not have many options for this at all. I have 2 options. The first one is Blood Orange by Harriet Tice. This is a thriller. It's about 320 pages, but I haven't heard great things about this, so I don't know if I want to read that one. But then also I have Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. Pointed out that Hazel is a colour, so there's this one. This is a 300-page romance book, and I feel like I'm leaning towards this one. I feel like I can read it quite fast and I'll enjoy it, rather than like forcing myself to read something that I don't really want to read. Obviously I wasn't planning on reading this yet, but here we are. So I think after I finish To Kill a Kingdom, I'm going to read this and hopefully get it done by midnight, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that the prompts at midnight are prompts that I think are good. Guys, the question is no longer, will I finish this book? The question is, will this book finish me? It's 4:30 in the afternoon. I took a break because I was so tired and just so over that book. I just couldn't read anymore. I have about 35 pages left of the book, and it's gonna kill me to read it, to finish it. And I don't even know why, because I thought I was enjoying it, but I physically couldn't read any more of it. So I took a bit of a break. I had a shower, as you can see. I'm gonna have some food. We've just ordered a takeaway, so I'm gonna have some food and then I'm gonna try and come back to it. I have 30 pages left of that, and then I want to read as much of Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating before midnight, because I want to start with fresh books tomorrow for the new roll drops. Obviously it depends how much I get through Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, but we'll see. Guys, this is a no from me. I just tried to read the last 35 pages and I DNF'd at page 350-ish. This book is 358 pages. I just physically could not read the last 2 chapters. I just couldn't do it. I don't know what it is. I just did not vibe with this book at all. I didn't care. I was bored. I feel like if I read this like any other day, or yeah, maybe if I didn't like try and read it all in one go because it was a readathon, maybe if I'd spread it out, then I would rate this high and I would enjoy it, because I do think I would enjoy the story. It just, I could not do it today. Today was not the day. I'm gonna give it 2 stars. I feel bad because I feel like it's just me, not the book, but that's how I feel. I'm sorry, but I feel like what I'm gonna do now, oh, it's 6 p.m. by the way, so there's 6 hours until the next roll drops. I think I'm going to get into bed and start Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. I feel like a romance is what I need to pick me up, and I feel like this will be easy to read. There's also like texts in it which should make it faster. So yeah, I'm going to get into bed and see how much of this I can read. This book was an excellent choice. Literally only 35 pages in, like that's how far in I am, and this book is so funny. Like, I've literally been laughing out loud to myself reading this book so far. I've also decided to annotate it because some of the things, they're just funny, and I can't not annotate them. It's also like just really relatable. Like, the main character Hazel, she's weird and witty and funny and like just really relatable. She's got like no filter. I I already love her and I'm so glad that I decided to pick this up. Also, I am still on FaceTime with Em. We have been on FaceTime pretty much all day, just reading and then talking, trying to motivate each other because both of us have hit a bit of a slump. I'm gonna stay up till midnight to hear the next roll drops. I'm also gonna try and stay up for a couple of hours after that because at midnight it's Gavin and Lexi's sprints, and last year they were so funny. It was just unhinged, and there's a big dragonfly. But yeah, so I want to stay up to catch at least a couple of hours of those sprints. They're 12 till 4 a.m. and I do not think I'm going to be able to go till 4 a.m. But we'll see. Good morning everyone. So I have updates. I didn't really update much after I started reading Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. Basically me and Em ended up FaceTiming for about 15 hours yesterday. We just carried on FaceTiming all night, and Soph joined us for a bit as well, and we were delirious. We were insane. We were not reading, we were just talking about rubbish, but it was really fun. But I have got halfway through, well, over halfway through this book. I'm on page 176 this morning, and also Em found this ebook last night called Railed by the Easter Bunny, which we read. It was like 50 pages. It was really, really bad. It was so bad. But we read it, so that completed the ebook prompt. So far I've completed a short book, ebook, and Gods, and I'm currently reading the colour book, or the colour prompt. Also last night at midnight, the next two prompts were released. So those prompts were a spooky book and a YA. For spooky, I'm gonna class like thrillers as spooky too, and because it's YA, I might read The Inheritance Games, which is a YA thriller. But I am gonna see first what time I finish this, because if I don't finish this till like 12, I'm just gonna see what the next roll drops are and see if I want to pick one of those instead. But yesterday the total number of pages was around 500. I will tell you the exact number at the end because I'll work it all out. But yeah, 500 pages yesterday, and I'm on my fourth book, so this is actually going pretty well. Okay, guys, new all-time favourite romance book. This book is incredible. This is genuinely my favourite romance book I've ever read. It is a friends to lovers. It is I don't know how to explain. They used to know each other a while ago. It's kind of like acquaintances to strangers to friends to lovers is the best way I'd describe it. It's witty. It's so funny. I laughed out loud so many times. The underlying message is basically that you shouldn't change for anyone, and people should love you for who you are, pretty much. And it was just done in such a good way. I really related to Hazel, and Josh is like my literal dream book boyfriend. I love Josh. Yeah, this was a great book, 5 stars. And it is currently 10:45 in the morning, and the next prompts get released at 12, so I've got just over an hour. So I'm going to take a break for that hour and 15 minutes and then decide on my next book at 12 when the next prompts are released, because those prompts will obviously decide what I choose to read. If I do decide to read something from the prompts that was from last night, then it probably will be the Inheritance Games. I think I spoke about it earlier. Just because I know that the chapters are really short and I feel like that will make me read it faster. But I do definitely want to finish at least one more book before this readathon is over. Oh yeah, also I counted the pages I read yesterday and it was 524 pages yesterday, which I'm very proud of. Hello everyone, it's the next day and I have some explaining to do. First of all, ignore the way that I look. I have a mock trial exam in a minute, so that's why I'm dressed like a lawyer. But I fell asleep yesterday afternoon. Yeah, I fell asleep. The two prompts that were dropped at 12 yesterday were water on the cover, and that could be like the colour of water, anything beach or sea or water themed. And then also the first book that comes up on your social media feed that you haven't read. I didn't love those prompts. I was planning on reading the Inheritance Games for YA. I didn't even pick this up. I did read Sheets, the graphic novel, for water because it's blue, so it's the colour of water, and I didn't love that. I think it was like okay, it was fine. I just didn't, I didn't love it. It was just like, okay, that's fine. I'm probably going to unhaul it because I won't read it again. But then I came to uni and me and Em were on FaceTime and we were supposed to read. Em did read. I just scrolled on TikTok for 3 hours. So I did not read anything. But I did read 5 books, or was it 6? I read the Shatter Me novella, I read To Kill a Kingdom, Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, Railed by the Easter Bunny, and Sheets. So I read 5 books, which I'm still proud of, even if one was a graphic novel and 2 were really short, but I'm still proud of that. I really enjoy bookoplathon every year, and honestly it was one of the most fun weekends I've had in a while because me and Em just FaceTimed for literally the whole weekend. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the video, even though it was a bit chaotic. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.